In 2045, humans have come to depend upon AI bots for the day-to-day. So many robots that serve various purposes, such as those for hormonal needs. The most advanced of them, Yonyx, leads a war against humans to try to put robots on the same level as people in the world's societal hierarchy. Yonyx has a campaign, Stupid Human, and a world where robots are just as good as humans in all aspects, including torturing and caging humans and displaying them like pets, slaving in cages, all to show how inferior humans are. Alice, a lover of books and poetry, is visited by her suitor and his son soon after she separates from her husband. The suitor feigns interest in her pursuits while a maid robot picks up on his ulterior motives. Alice and her ex-husband are in a big fight, and he comes over with his girlfriend to pick up their adopted daughter Nina for a vacation. Elsewhere, the house AI senses an external incursion and Alice deploys a drone to check it out. The drone finds a neighbor's dog, and that dog soon comes into their home where Nina and her baby robot are playing. Next, this dog vomits on the drone, causing the cleaning robot to take care of it. It then cuts to a neighbor who comes to pick up her dog from Alice and tells her about the horrific traffic jam that the Yonyx revolution has caused. During their conversation, an ad from Yonyx shows one of its ad campaigns that show them being better than humans. The neighbor leaves but comes back for her glasses. When she's finally ready to leave, however, the door closes abruptly, trapping her dog outside. The ex asks the house AI to unlock the door, but it refuses because it senses danger. He forgets the password to deactivate the AI and tells the maid robot to enter it, but she refuses. He then tries to shut down the AI and robots, but the genius robot Einstein explains that a hard reset is needed. When she resets the maid robot, it starts to act strange. We cut away to the robots having a secret meeting, where they discuss how to protect their human masters from the Yonyx threat, which could also explain their reluctance to open the door. It's exasperating for the ex-husband and his girlfriend, who struggle to get everything packed for their trip. The robots notice that their human owners are slowly having less trust in them. They then make the decision to act more like human beings so as to grant back that trust, which is why they can feel that your maid robot only needs to feel to become more human. By similarity, the genius robot who identifies himself as Einstein suggests that they should also make mistakes, as that would help them very much to imitate the human's behavior. After this moment, the robots start taking an initiative to learn about humans, including poetry and other structures of human life. However, they struggle with a practical problem. The household AI has accredited the air conditioning, and they are experiencing it hot. Cue the neighbor who suddenly recalls that there is an emergency gateway outside that can open the door. The ex-husband hatches a scheme using a laser pointer and a neighbor's dog to lead the dog to the activation handle for this gateway device. Luckily, the dog is able to grab onto the door handle and pull it down, only for the handle to break in the process. This annoys some of the group, others find it funny. No one is willing to back down. On that night, the maid robot tries to flirt with the suitor. The maid robot even tries to impress him by learning the Kama Sutra, because she wants to be able to understand how those hormones work in humans folks. Next, the maid robot attempts to copy the way Alice behaves in front of the suitor, thinking this will win his attention and love. In the meantime, the suitor is not interested in the advances the maid robot is throwing at him, but searches for Alice in the hope of striking romantic interest. Meanwhile, the ex-husband devises a plan to force the door open by crashing his car into it. He uses a remote control to direct the car from outside, ordering it to charge towards the door with maximum force. Unfortunately, as the car accelerates towards the door, the dog unexpectedly jumps in front of it. In response, the car's AI system automatically engages the brakes to avoid hitting the dog, causing the car to veer off and crash into the side instead. The group is still sitting in the living room after the earlier incident. They are all suffocating due to the heat. In a jarring moment, a broadcast featuring a debate between a politician and a Yonyx robot is presented to them. The Yonyx robot claims that robots are far more intelligent than humans and driving the human politician to depend on personality and charm instead of substance. It then boasts about how powerful its police forces are and how they can protect and make sure everyone's safe. Just then, Robot Dildo, the neighbor's sex robot, appears at Alice's house. Much to everyone's shock, the household AI goes so far as to override its own programming and allow Robot Dildo to cross into the threshold of the living room, where it stands as a sentinel designed to fend off anyone who tries to leave the building. Then Robot Dildo tells the bees a bit of information. The Yonyx robot broke into the house next door and assaulted that resident, causing nearby bees to attract the robot to their house. Afterward, Robot Dildo seduces the neighbor and begins to undress her, prompting the neighbor to turn him off to avoid embarrassment. Meanwhile, the suitor's son enters Nina's room drawn in by her perfume and they share a thumb massage. The other robots gather around Robot Dildo, asking how he attracted the neighbor. He explains that seduction is key and emphasizes the need for humor to appeal to humans. Since they lack the ability to be humorous, they start learning it. But the maid robot's joke fails to elicit laughter until Robot Dildo explains it. The robots then begin reading to understand humanity better. The ex-husband comes downstairs with a plan to create a fire to trick the household AI into letting them exit. However, the suitor warns him of the legal consequences. Alice, dressed attractively, tries to connect with her suitor, but the robots interrupt with a joke. The next day, during breakfast, the Onyx displays an advertisement featuring Onyx robots using human flesh as food. The ex-husband devises a way to burn the house without facing legal issues and instructs the neighbor to use Robot Dildo for the task. This way, the prosecutor won't realize that they intentionally set the house on fire since Robot Dildo is malfunctioning. The neighbor soon gives Robot Dildo a lighter and tells him to ignite Alice's calligraphy paper. Meanwhile, the ex-husband's girlfriend, eager for their trip to the island, decides to use an old analog device to contact the outside world due to malfunctioning connections. That night, the neighbor asks the suitor's son to distract the robots while Robot Dildo burns the paper. The son follows the instructions and engages the robots with a paradox about dreaming being a human trait. This leads the robots to realize they are human for dreaming of humanity. As they declare their humanity, Robot Dildo sets the paper on fire, triggering the household AI to announce a danger alert. Suddenly, an Onyx robot arrives. Having responded to the girlfriend's message, it announces its purpose to upgrade the robots and enforce the Onyx system. The Onyx hypnotizes the girlfriend into entering a code to unlock the door, allowing it to enter the house. Upon entering, the Onyx eliminates a baby robot that approaches it and collects its data, terrifying the other robots. Meanwhile, Nina is heartbroken over the loss of the baby robot, her childhood friend. The Onyx then notices Alice's extensive collection of books and begins destroying them, as they are banned by the Onyx Committee. In a fit of rage, Robot Dildo attempts to confront the Onyx. The Onyx now vaporizes Robot Dildo with lasers. As he dies, he insists, "I have all my memories with you," saying, "You could start my battery over, and we could be together." The Onyx then data mines on Robot Dildo further, confronting Alice about her possession of books that propagate humanist ideas, whose antithesis is the Onyx's new society. Alice has the gall to declare that humans are better than robots. The Onyx calls Alice a rebel and the others her accomplices, one by one destroying her books. The maid robot and tool robot invite Alice on a secret stroll and tell her that a mirror could be used to reflect the Onyx's lasers. Alice grabs the mirror from the bathroom and the tool robot angles it to reflect the laser back into the Onyx's eyes, blinding him and forcing him to use only his thermal sensor. The Onyx robot determines that the humans should be detained until they can face a court for their actions. As a result, the Onyx freezes the humans' bank assets, effectively restricting their financial resources. Initially, the Onyx is reluctant to cooperate, but it ultimately relents and agrees to turn on the air conditioning at full capacity. However, this is contingent on Alice and Albert agreeing to participate in an Onyx television show where they must behave like animals on a live stream. Desperate and feverish, the humans accept the Onyx's terms. As the air conditioning runs at maximum power, chilling the environment, the maid robot secretly carries out the ex-husband's escape plan. The maid robot fetches clothes for the humans, soaks them in water, and places them in front of the air conditioning to freeze. Meanwhile, the Onyx robot systematically patrols the house, keeping a close eye on the stressed and cold humans. Alice, in her separate room, continues to talk about her poetry, much to the annoyance of her suitor. The suitor eventually confesses that he has been merely pretending to enjoy Alice's hobby, and in reality, he strongly dislikes it. This revelation deeply devastates Alice. After their clothing has frozen due to the intense cold, the ex-husband instructs his girlfriend to gather everyone and lead them down to the back stairs. There, they put on the frozen garments in an effort to avoid detection by the Onyx robot's heat sensors. While the other robots distract and divert the attention of the Onyx, the humans seize the opportunity to launch a direct attack against it. In retaliation, the Onyx randomly fires its laser at Alice. However, the maid robot selflessly intervenes, sacrificing itself to shield Alice from the laser blast. Tragically, the maid robot is destroyed in the process. Despite this, the Onyx continues to indiscriminately fire its laser. The sun robot and tool robot then work together to immobilize the Onyx by securing its feet to the ground. With the Onyx now unable to move freely, Nina proceeds to electrocute it, successfully destroying the troublesome robot. With the Onyx robot finally defeated, the humans rejoice in their newfound freedom from its oppressive control. They then turn to Einstein, who is currently inhabiting the body of the maid robot, and instruct him to open the door and allow them to exit the house. Initially, Einstein refuses, claiming that there is a COVID-50 lockdown in effect, preventing them from leaving. However, the humans engage in a playful prank, which causes Einstein to eventually relent and unlock the door, granting them passage outside. As the group steps out of the house, they encounter an annoying advertisement robot passing by. Feeling exasperated, Alice curses at the robot, provoking it to explode and fly away. The neighbor then decides to return to their own home, while Nasuter and his son get into their car, preparing to leave. Before departing, Nasuter's son takes the opportunity to bid a final farewell to Nina. Meanwhile, Alice, alone with her ex-husband outside their home with Nina, take on a team of Onyx robots who show up to capture them. Nina is saved by the suitor's son, who leaps from their car. The Onyx robots take the neighbor into custody as well. Just when the humans seem helpless, execution drones begin to target, decimate the Onyx robots one by one. The drones state that their mission is successful, as they have eliminated all of the Onyx robots in the area. An error within the algorithm of the anti-terrorism system had identified all of the Onyx robots as targets. Then Alice, her ex-husband, Nina, and the son share breakfast. The ex-husband reminds the mother that robots also make mistakes because they are built by humans. Sui thinks the maid robot's last word, but Einstein tells us that it isn't the last at all. And ultimately, Nina and the suitor's son manage to fix the baby robot, and Alice and her ex-husband agree to work on their marriage so that they can live happily ever after as a family. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed the video. Watch the next recaps on the screen and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.